3 days into the new year. Of course, 18 went out with a bang. It was wet. The water's trying to encroach on us. You know, we didn't know we had to move out. And normally we would take off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and sometimes the day after Christmas. But this year, because the last day we worked, it was so wet and it had rained so much that we didn't know how high the world was going to be. So we kept our eye on it, and we decided to take the whole week off after Christmas, and which was a good thing. The water has receded and was able to work, but unfortunately, we've had another big rain in the Piedmont part of the state, and that's where Jordan Lake is, and I think they released some water, must have been yesterday, because Justin had come up here yesterday. I've been sick with the flu the whole week, and my wife's sick now. But they was up here yesterday, and it looked pretty good. The water, you know, you couldn't see the water. And then today, the water started to come up again. So we kind of a wait and see deal right now. I'm on the grader now, grading the road. The road's holding up pretty good. Got a few soft spots in it, but it's just unfortunate that we don't know what the water's going to do in the woods. We got a good tract of timber here, good access. All we need is for Mother Nature to work with us a little bit, or the guys at the dam to work with us a little bit, not turn all the water loose at one time. But hopefully we'll keep it going. We certainly need it. It's been a rough year. 18 was a rough year for us. We hope 19 is going to be better.
Right, me and Terrell, we went to Georgetown yesterday, had a good successful ride down there, got unloaded. On the way back about 8 o'clock, the truck cuts off in the middle of the road. So we worked on it about 30 minutes, still couldn't get it going, so we called Bobby. And Bobby said, well, we just sent a wrecker to get it tonight. So he took me home with my truck, so I said, man, that's a long way to Jacksonville, somebody come and get you. So I said, just take my truck and go on home with it, come back in the morning, pick me up, and then we'll go from there. So hopefully they can get his goal today, get this load count back up, and where we're staying at right now. Truck coming out, truck coming out. Wow, warm me up, man. Coming out.
Where you at? I'm out here at the highway.
Come on down to the parking lot, man. No parking sign.
Yeah.
Okay, on my way out now, just about to the highway. This is a good safety tip for all you drivers that's coming out the woods in a long ways. Even though I had to put my straps on, you get to some level ground when you want to tighten the straps up. Make sure they're tight. If not, the law can come out, and even though DMV stop and there's a costly ticket to the driver. So, good thing you check them straps when you get to the end of the road, so they can shake loose, come loose, and cost you money, or make you lose the law. So always check mine before I get on the highway for that final run. So we're gonna get out now, check our straps. Always use your hard hat. Okay, that's done. Ready to ride. McQueen, Sowers. I've been with the Goodson now ever since '07. Hauling logs. It's a good job. I enjoy it. Peaceful job. When you get loaded, get to ride, think, see the world. So I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm married. Got a wife, 2 daughters. One just come out of college, one heading to college. So you know I got to work. Okay, folks? Right now we heading to Turnbull to get some of these logs off. And try to make our boss man Bobby some money. Right now we just got at the Turnbull mill. Waiting on Gary to pull off the scale because one truck on, one truck off. So I'll pull on the scales, get out my truck, go to the scale house. She'll give me a little card. I'll come back and I'll stamp on the wood. I'll come back and pull on the scale, take her that card back, and she'll give me my weight chicken, and I'm out. Ready to go back and get another one. I know you had to be doing something took you that long up there.
He get all his passes, IP passes out. And he got trucks sitting there ain't got there. And I got him sick. She made me sick, so man, I'll be in this.
So you got something made for Justin. Yeah. Greg buddy, right? He's at the Turnbull, right?
Yeah, got a car truck.
Yeah, you got to go home and watch Gunsmoke. You got married though, for real?
They got married the day we buried Mama.
Oh, okay.
His wife was Mama's hospice nurse.
Oh, okay.
Look at this right here. Man, talk shit to me now. I mean, he called me all kind of things. He called me a Mexican, asked me why I got that old light on the back of my trailer. And look what he went out, look what he went out and did, y'all. Look what he went out and did. He went out and got him the light. All that junk he talked to me about had that flashing light. That light too bright.
That's not the real light.
He called it his Terrell light now. Yes, sir. And pull it back. You said move it 2 miles. Split by. I don't know where. Actually, it's Thursday today, but it feels like a Monday to me because I've been sick. But I just got word that Abraham's trying to spot trailers, and he must have picked up something. We got a bunch of old boards, old mats that when they rot, they're tough on tires. And apparently, he's knocked a hole in one of his tires. And of course, we don't have a spare. I think he already had one inside flat on the back. But Justin's gonna try to get it down there and get it off and see if we got something we can put on it. We might have to make a run back to the shop and see if I can dig up some old military tires. We're going to try to get Terrell's trucks broke down. It broke down last night coming back from Georgetown, so we got it at the shop this morning, and I got a man looking at it. We think the computer's gone out on it. We're not sure, it just died going down the road. And that's one of the things that is killing us. We're having to haul the wood so far, and our trucks are so old that the guys are getting hesitant on whether to strike out at night to go down to Georgetown, which that's the best time to haul. Traffic's less, there's not many trucks in the mill. But the trucks is, 1 million miles on them. They're 12 years old, and of course the new truck's supposed to be here in March. Hopefully they'll get here then and do keep these things running long enough. But I got Terrell. He's going to jump on the dump truck for me and try to haul some sand on the road. But anyway, maybe just to get the tire fixed on the spider truck, because that's a very important piece of equipment. Even though it's an old raggedy truck, it does a lot and it helps us a lot. So we get that thing back running, we'll be all right. 855D, they gone to a D7 undercarriage, which is a lot better so far. But on the older machine, we had top rollers. And in the woods, that's normally not a good thing because sticks would get in there and jam the rollers, or mud would get packed around and jam them. If they don't turn, they'll flat face. And then it just wears everything out a lot quicker. But on this machine here, and I like it better, even though we had to change the slides on it. The slides are, there's 3 plates on the top that it's like a channel for the rail to ride in, and we had to replace those, but it's easier replacing those and cheaper replacing those than it is the rollers. But Justin changed those the other day, and the ones we took off of it, we'll just carry them back to the shop and put some metal in there and then hard space and have those ready for the next time we need some. But it's something different on this machine. I think it's going to be better. I know the D7 undercarriage is going to be better because we actually, on the D6D, we had to put tri-link on it, which is the main rail, then a half rail on the outside. We really needed a quad rail on it, but we couldn't. There's not enough room to put on the inside. But I think this track gauge is heavy enough that we don't have to do that. But time will tell. If we start breaking the rails and twisting it up, we'll know the next time we have to go with tri-rail. But so far it's working out pretty good.
Trailer dropped down too low and had to make a little hole to get the truck up underneath. Well, we got the motor grader and took and dug a little hole so he can get the truck up under it. It was setting up too low, and took a couple tries, but we got it. Didn't take long.
No, what it was, Daniel was pulling this trailer and tried to get back up on this morning, and that Mac had no airbags, so it was kind of high. So we pushed it back and fell in the hole. So it was too high for me to get up on it, so we got the motor grader. There was a little hole. Got it back the truck now so I can get up under it. We got it now, so head to the mill with it. What do you think, Daniel? All right.
Go get it done.
Get it done, get it done.
Last week we had a lot of issues with the trucks getting stuck, and it's never a good thing when you gotta take a man for pulling wood, you got to push a truck, or have to get the motor grader right here to push a truck. It's time consuming, and we lose a lot of loads of woods like that. But fortunate now, the rain stopped, the sun is shining again, and the wind is blowing, and it's drying up really good. And anytime that the trucks can drive in, turn around and get loaded and drive up by themselves, it saves us a ton of money, because we'll lose pushing trucks in and out and getting them turned around. We'll lose 2 or 3 loads a day.
The driver no good. He's stuck for go to the mirror on this side, and let's go to the road, no stuck. But he's go to the mirror, it's the loose over there, and now just on push and turn around and over the another side, and then turn around and let's go on the first push. It's no good drivers.
We had a lot of people asking where the old auto car is. If y'all remember back, the auto car was Oscar's truck. He liked that truck. And I like the auto car because it's got an airbag fifth wheel on it. And what that is you can back up on a log trailer and jack the landing gear up high enough that you don't have to get out there and crank the landing gear up every time. Abraham, on the other hand, he wanted something with a little more power. The auto cars are really a fairly weak truck. I mean, they turned them down because it's all-wheel drive, but it used to be a cement truck, and they didn't want to tear the truck up, so they had the motors turned back. And though the old 800 series Army trucks has got a 250 Cummins in it, and they got some spunk to it, and Abraham likes the power of the Army truck, so he'd rather drive it, but Oscar liked the auto car because it was easier. You know, he could back under the trailer and jack it up and then hook his airline up. He could take off. He didn't have to go out there and crank the landing gear up and down. But it still runs. The other day we had to get it fired up to move an old log trailer out of the way to get to the Army truck that we had to get the tires off of. That truck's got an air clutch on it. I don't know why they put an air clutch on it. It has caused me a lot of problems. Actually, Antonio was at the shop one day working on something, and he had to move the auto car out of the way to get whatever he was working on. And he didn't know it was in gear. And when he started it up, it started moving. And it's got air, it's an air clutch. So he didn't have no air buildup, so he couldn't get it out of gear, and he actually ran over my brother's pickup. Well, I almost had the same thing happen to me yesterday. We was trying to move it. We got it started up, and the clutch wasn't acting right. And but anyway, Justin, we left the hood open because you can't cut it off by the key. And I couldn't get it out of gear, and I was going across the driveway there, and Justin went up there and turned the little knob in and cut it off, thank God. But we got it stopped. But the auto car's a good truck. I don't know nothing about air clutches. I'm going to learn because we kind of need that truck back up and running, because the Army truck that Abraham's driving is getting old. Sure is. I looked at that yesterday. I thought it was 8. Okay. Yeah. All on that side don't look too bad. They'll hold air until they bust. So we only got 4?
Yeah.
But I've still got some air in it.
We're trying air it up. All we need is 4 anyway.
Might as well get them all off.
Yeah. We're gonna do it.
Huh?
We're gonna do it.
Well, we're gonna take the motor out and fix it and put it in another truck. Or
At least take the head off.
yeah. Get that off. I'll take the doors off. Both the windows are good in the doors. They roll up and down. And I'll probably get it back to John. Because I won't get near as much for carrying it back as they charge me for getting out. Wonder why. Still got some decent parts. You took the starter off of it? Well, me and Justin had we was at the shop this morning. Last load of wood going out of the woods the other evening. Abraham had a load of pine saw timber. Of course, he said it was too many pounds on it, but it's probably driving on the tires anyway. You had a blowout, so we got an old Army truck I bought from the junkyard probably 4 or 5 years ago for parts, because we got 3 of the old trucks running, and the truck had some pretty good tires on it, so we had to move a bunch of mess out of the way at the shop to get back there to it. We drug it out, and Justin got the boom truck in there, and we got 5 good tires off of it, and I think actually we needed 5 to put back on Abraham's truck, because he had a couple flats anyway. Then he had a blowout, so there was 2 flats side by side. But we got the tires on it. We're gonna get it back on his truck. Well, actually, to keep him going, Justin stole the tires off the dump truck put on Abraham's truck. So now I got these 5 Army tires here to put back on the dump truck, so we'll have it ready when we need it to haul sand. Well, Justin got a wake-up call this morning. He's left the house about 5:30. He's going to work, and Sam had called him. And Sam had mentioned to him a time or two about the wheel bearing, something making a noise on the front. And Sam kept thinking it was on the driver's side. And anyway, he was picking the men up, and he got there to Harris Creek Church over there where we live at, and it started making an awful fuss. So he pulled over, and thank goodness he pulled over when he did, because Justin came to the shop and we got all the parts together, loaded some tires up, and we went back to go change the wheel bearing on the truck. And Ford, back years ago when I used to buy my '89 Ford anyway, if you had a front wheel bearing go out, you just go buy the bearings and you could put them in it, you know, 25 bucks. Well, it ain't like that anymore. You know, you got to go buy a hub assembly. And Ford wants about $500 something for a hub assembly. Well, we get an aftermarket, which is about half price. But anyway, so we get up there and Justin starts taking it apart, and thank God Sam stopped when he did, because as he started taking it apart, all the bearings started falling out. And if Sam would have, if he would have got on 53 coming to the woods running 55 or 60, there's no telling what would have happened. That wheel could have flung off and they'd have been in the woods. But he stopped it when he heard the noise, and Justin, we got all the parts together, and we went up there, and Justin got all the parts changed out and got the truck ready. I guess it's been all right.
I've had good luck out of them. I mean, good
I don't know
luck,
if the
I
Ford
guess.
price just don't change it because it ain't got Ford right on it. That part can't be any good, it's not Ford. Damn. Didn't it break that joint in there?
It just about popped the whole
Yeah,
whole ball joint out of the socket. Man, shit get hot right there.
Yeah, it did.
Lord. This one's a jacket. Maybe one. I mean, it ain't gonna help me stop me from putting it back together.
Dad used to have, I don't know what the poles were called.
With the air shoes on. Yeah, I think we can.
Daddy always made us split wood for the house. And he'd bring them big oak blocks home. Then once you lay them, get them laid down, because he would have them, you know, this big around, you hit on the edges, and you could whack it and it'd pop right off. But you get a gum, you can't split gum. I mean, like with a wood splitter, you got to pick it up, put it on there, and hit the handle. Look at the bearings. Look at that. Oh my. The grease worm. Is that what got in there, the grease worm?
Yeah.
What's supposed to keep that lube?
Nothing. It's sealed.
Obviously, they forgot to put the grease in it when we bought it. I bought all the bearings for the nap buggy from Fences, which was half price from Tiger Cat, and it was $11,000 worth of bearings. 11. I still got half of them. So many of everything, he says, man, I can't believe this stuff's got to be cheap, you know. You know, while me and Justin was working on the pickup, changing the wheel bearing, Justin got a phone call, and we don't even know who it was, but somebody had called and said that Monkey had gotten a wreck, and his head was busted open. So we just throwed what parts that we had for the pickup underneath the truck and jumped in the service truck, and I was riding with him in the service truck, and we came up here to Cane Tuck Road, which is probably about 4 or 5 miles from where we're actually working at. And as soon as we pulled up, you know, of course, you got all the fire trucks and police cars, and I guess people in the community had stopped there to see what was going on. And we walked up there, and I talked to some of the firemen guys that were there, first responders, And they said that Monkey was okay. And of course, I got a chance to see him, and he had his head all wrapped up. But Monkey is so hard-headed. I mean, his head's gapped up. They told him he needed stitches, but he didn't want to go. All he could think about was his truck was turned over, and he was 80,000 miles short of $1 million. His goal was to get 1 million miles on that truck before we got rid of it. Of course, we got some new trucks coming in a couple more months, hopefully. But so he was upset about that. And I talked to the state patrolman, and he said that he could, Monkey said that the truck was in his lane, and the truck was pulling a trailer. And I've actually went and looked at it, and I could see the part on the trailer that when they hit, it busted Monkey's front tire.
Trooper Acuna with the Highway Patrol. We got a call for an 18-wheeler rollover. Arrived on scene, vehicle rolled over to the left side of the road. Minor injuries, thank God. Driver stated that a piece of machinery was on the back of a trailer. He caught the front end of the 18-wheeler, causing it to roll over. Temporary blocking the roadway. Thank God Bobby had a lot of machinery out here, came out here quickly and got everybody home safely.
But the state patrolman said he could see the marks on the road where what Monkey's fault, and that's always a big concern, because a lot of times the big truck gets blamed for everything, and those guys are professionals, and they do it every day for a living, and that's their livelihood. So they're not, 99% of them is not going to get out there and run up down the road like madmen, and but especially mine, I'm not going to put up with it, and they know that. But you know, thank God Monkey's okay. But we had an issue. We was debating on what to do about the headache racks. We got the new trucks coming, and I actually had ordered these nice, pretty aluminum headache racks that everybody runs, and they do look good, but they're not there for looks. And I've seen several accidents here lately that had those, and of course, Monkey's headache rack did the job now. It saved his life. But the truck's tore all to pieces. The headache rack is smashed into the back of the truck. And I've seen trucks that the trailers actually had a cage on the front of the bolsters. And it's usually about 6-8 inches from where the wood stops at. And if that wood never gets a chance to start moving, it ain't gonna do the damage that it does when it has a chance to move like it did on Monkey's truck. And that's definitely gonna be a feature that we're gonna change. It's gonna be expensive because we've got 12 log trailers. Instead of having 6 headache racks, we've got to have 12 now. But we're going to put them on the log trailers because I don't mind paying for 1,000 extra pounds in the mill if I know the driver's going to be safe, because Monkey is a lucky fella. The whole right side of that truck was completely smashed into the back. I mean, if he'd had a passenger, he wouldn't be living. And you can see Monkey didn't have hardly any room on his side. You can see where his head hit the visor up there, because there's blood all over the visor up there where his head hit. He said he just hopped right out, and we was going back to the truck to get his personal stuff out, and we couldn't get back in the truck to get his stuff out. I said, how in the world did you get out of here? He said, I don't know. But he's a lucky fella, and I'm glad he's all right, and the other person in the other vehicle, they're fine. But it's a wake-up call where the new trucks that we're going to have every safety feature that they put on trucks. We're going to have them. We're going to have cameras all the way around them. We're going to have cameras pointing out the front, pointing out the back. Whatever safety things that we can get, we're going to have them, because that's the most important thing, that when somebody comes to work, they want to go home in the evening. And you know, my trucks meet my in-laws and my family on the road, so I want my trucks to be as safe as they can. And I thank God that Monkey was doing what he was supposed to do. He was in his lane. He wasn't speeding. But it's just an unfortunate accident that when they hit, busted his tire, and he shot him out through the woods, and that's just how fast something can happen. Here we are at the intersection of Heading Bluff and Cane Tut. We got a call a few minutes ago. Well, it's been about an hour and a half ago now. Me and Justin was trying to get one of the pickups fixed. The wheel bearing went out on it in Jacksonville on the side of the road. We get a call that Monkey had gotten a wreck, and we come down here, and this is what we find. Of course, it was up in the woods, we got it pulled back out of the woods, and Monkey is a very lucky man. The good Lord was watching after him, because that cab is tore all to pieces. And while we're right over here, we got new trucks coming, and we were debating on whether to put the cab rack on the trailer or go with these nice, pretty aluminum ones. And this right here made a decision for me. There will be no more pretty nice aluminum cab racks on my trucks. The wood went everywhere. We're gonna put them on the trailers, and hopefully it won't give the wood a chance to move. But once it starts moving, you can't stop it. You know, you got 50,000 pounds of wood back there, and once it starts moving, it's hard to stop. And it has about 10 feet before it hits that cab rack. And just thank God Monkey's all right. But we still got to clean up and see if we get this thing out of here.
Well, we made it to hump day. I don't know if you're my friend on Facebook or not, but I try to put up some hump day pictures every Wednesday. A lot of people don't like it, but anyway. Middle of the week's almost over. One of our drivers had a little hiccup yesterday. Pretty sure y'all gonna hear about that and see about that. And pretty much, I ain't forgot about Gary and his little light that he put on the back of his trailer. What that was all about is a while back I put them little flashing lights on the back of my trailer, you know, just something for safety, you know. And Gary, he just chewed me out every chance he got about that light. Called me Mexican, only Mexicans put those lights on that trailer, and I wish you'd take that mess off. I hate falling behind you, it's too bright, and this and that. Here about a year and a half later, guess who got one on the back of their trailer now? Yes, Mr. Gary. He went and put one on his trailer. But then that's neither here nor there. But anyway, get on down to the court and try to get this load off. It's gonna be one of those days where you just what do you say? Yeah, cut that piece right there. It's gonna be one of those slow days for me. I'm gonna try not to go down to South Carolina today, but you know how that go. You know, they love to send us down that way, so I'll probably end up down there in Georgia. I wish people down there are great, so you know, I don't mind going.
You know, I've got to say something about our first responders, and I don't know for sure, but I think these guys are volunteer firemen from the Atkinson Fire Department. Those guys were there on the spot, ready to respond. We had DMV was there, we had a state patrolman was there. All these guys was there to help us, you know, to get everything clean, to show me what to do. I didn't know what to do. I've never had a truck tore up like that, but the guys was real helpful, and they helped us, and you know, it's just good to know that the community is there for us. I mean, we had some people that live in the area that Robin actually came out there, a guy that lives over there, and he brought me some, we call them diapers, but they actually absorb fuel and oil in case we had a fuel spill, because we couldn't tell if the fuel tanks was busted on the truck, and of course they wasn't. But we had several people in the community come up there and was helping us sweep the road off and all kind of stuff. And you know, I want to thank them for helping us, because in a situation like that, especially me, you don't think that clear, because you're kind of panicking. You know, your driver could be hurt, the truck's tore up, you wonder what's going to happen, and you got these other people jumping in and helping us. And I want to just thank everybody for helping us, because it really meant a lot to me. And I want to give a shout out to Stump Jumper, the Chipper Guy, Logger Wade, and Cotton Top. Thank y'all for watching my videos and promoting them. And I watch y'all's all the time. My son got me hooked on them, and I just want to thank y'all for doing that, and continue watching mine, and I'll do the same. Well guys, that's the end of the video. And again, we can't do these videos without y'all support, your likes and shares, and your comments, and as always, well, I'll just let the guys tell you.
One more thing, if y'all do me a favor, y'all hit that like and share button so we can keep these videos coming to you. I enjoy making them.
Get the license insurance back.